ว่าเกรงใจเฝ้าร้านให้พ่อนะโหตาลสั่งเยอะมากเลยอ่ะ
หลายวันแล้วพี่
มันมาพร้อมกันอ๋อเขาดองไว้แล้วก็ส่งทีเดียว
มีปัญหาอยู่พี่ตอนนี้ขาดทุน
อ้าว
มันปรับเรทแต่ตัวละ5 บาทนี่พี่แล้วคนออกมาเยอะเลย
ปกติต้อง7 บาทใช่ไหมครับ
ใช่พี่แล้วค่าน้ำมันปกติวันละ300วันนี้ตันแค่200พี่
ค่าน้ำมันเขาก็จ่ายให้เด้อครับ
ใช่พี่เมื่อก่อนจะให้วันละ300ทีนี้วันละ200
โอ้โหออกไปเขาจะไปหางานอะไรทำนะ
ไม่รู้เขาเหมือนกัน
ดีนะคุณตาลไม่ออกนะ
ถ้ามอไซค์งานนี้กว่ารถใหญ่นะ
จริงครับ
มันชิ้นเล็กกันด้วยครับแต่ชิ้นเล็กก็ที่เดียวเนี่ย4-5 ตัวพี่แต่ชิ้นใหญ่สำหรับที่เดียวที่ส่วนงานครับ
เงินอะไรนะครับ
ยอดนะพี่เราวิ่งงานเท่าเดิมใช่ไหมพี่เท่ากับเดือนที่แล้วอ่ะแล้วเรามาใช้เหรียญเนี้ยตัวละ5 บาทแล้วมันก็200หายไป20,000เกือบ20,000
แต่คุณตาลก็ยังทำอยู่นะ
แล้วรอดูเดือนนี้เรื่องมันขายเท่าไหร่มายังไหว
ถ้าออกเราก็ไม่รู้จะไปทำอะไรนะ
ไปส่งขนส่งอื่นนี่
ก็ได้ครับลาซาด้าก็ยัง7 บาทอยู่นะ
ต้องวิ่งกว้างปีไม่วิ่งกว้างหมดเลย
ใช่ไม่ไปจริงๆเหรอเธอ
ไปอยากไปก็ไป
ใช่Hello everyone. Okay. It's time to travel. I go to Festival of University. Is far away of my home, 76 kilometers. I will arrive at t.23 p.m. at noon.
เลี้ยวซ้าย
And it's used 1 hour 20 minutes to arrive there. Yeah, where I go is University
5 กิโลเมตร
เกษตรศาสตร์กำแพงแสน If you want to meet me, go there. University เกษตรศาสตร์กำแพงแสน It have festival. Okay. Today my girlfriend doesn't come with me. She told me that she doesn't want to go.
ขับต่อไปอีก800 เมตร
very a little of oil. Okay. Ooh. Add oil here. I will add one, two, three, four. Nice to meet you, 10 people. Hello, my name is Chia. Today, I will travel. I finished my mission. Mission is complete. And then time to travel. Time to joy. เจ๊เอ๋ค่ะเอา95 200ครับ
ยิงนับตังค์
ฮะ
รู้ว่าตังค์ขาด
อ๋อ
ลืมเก็บตังค์ลูกค้าหรือเปล่า
แล้วลืมไหมครับ
ไม่ลืม
อ๋อ
เอาไปอย่างนี้
I add oil 200 baht. $200 is not much in Thailand. Is I get 5.35 ครับ
เบอร์แจ้ง
063
63
142
42
9255
9255เดี๋ยวสะสมให้นะ
ครับ I will arrive with 200 baht, but if I will come back my home, I will arrive 200 baht. À, ขอบคุณนะครับจ้าอือฮึ
เติมยังเติม
โอ้
ให้นิ้วหน่อย
อ๋อผมได้ อ๋อได้เยอะแล้วโอเคโอเคโอเค let's go It's very long journey everyone.
เลี้ยวขวาเข้าสู่ถนนแคราย ทางหลวงชนบทสมุทรสาคร 4009
Okay.
อีก 200 เมตร เลี้ยวขวา
AI is good. She taught me the path.
เลี้ยวขวา
Oh.
you just can't repair, you can't get over these diseases, you can reset the system, and the body can really get rejuvenated in ways that in the future we'll wonder why didn't we work on this earlier. The future of humanity is more like us walking around like Deadpool. We'll probably be cleaner and won't smell as badly, but Deadpool, if you don't know, can get injured and just recover. It's very hard to injure this guy, and we're going to be the same. There are many species, you cut off the limb, it grows back.
Salamanders,
Yeah, we are now learning how to tap into that system, and in part, what we're doing is reversing the age of those cells and telling them how to read the genes correctly again.
such a boon to the field. Where does that stand now in terms of human clinical trials? I mean, what are you envisioning in terms of the trajectory of those data from mice into humans someday?
Right. Well, to get to the point immediately, we're going to be testing the treatment on monkeys, just for safety reasons. And then the first patient should be done sometime in 2022, early 2023, and we're going to try to recover blindness.
This involves making an injection of a virus into the eye, right? Right now, there's no way that I am aware of to manipulate these transcription factors through a pill or some other.
That's what we're working on in my lab at Harvard right now. So it will be
Modulation of transcription
Well, the pop pill and the whole body gets rejuvenated by 20 years. That's what we're aiming for. Now we do it with gene therapy in the eye and other places. So in the eye, yes, it's a single injection. The genes go into the retina, and we can turn it on with a drug called doxycycline. And we do that in the mice for 4 to 8 weeks. The eye gets younger. We can measure that because we can measure the clock.
อีก 300 เมตร เลี้ยวซ้าย
And I don't see any reason why it shouldn't work in people because it's the same structures and mechanisms that are on in the human as well.
And it's one injection. As you mentioned, injections into the eye. Obviously, nobody should do this outside of an ophthalmology clinic. They're definitely by an ophthalmologist.
เลี้ยวซ้าย
The injections into the eye are painless if done correctly by the right person. It sounds dreadful, but it's actually, I've seen it done hundreds of times. I've done it thousands of times, and it's not to myself, but to other creatures. And there's a way of doing this that's completely painless to the person.
It's a tiny, tiny needle too. But the great thing about this is that it's a one-time treatment. Those genes go into the back of the eye and stay there forever. And you can just turn them on whenever you want. So what we found is you can turn them on in the mice, they get their vision back, and then you turn it off again. And so far, many months out, the benefit has remained. But if it does
ไป
decline,
ต่ออีก 1.5 กิโลเมตร
reset the system, rinse and repeat. So one day, what's exciting is that we could potentially do this across the entire body, and just take this antibiotic every 5 years and
Yeah, it's good for me because I want to running. Oh, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go.
Would essentially reverse the age of neurons.
less
Okay,
toxic to the
stop.
body. Because those senescent cells in the fat are secreting these inflammatory molecules that will accelerate aging, as we now know. Talk about the sirtuins and NAD. So if we just look philosophically at why this would be, the sirtuins only like to come on or get activated when the body is under adversity. And if a cell is surrounded by fat or contains a lot of fat, it's going to think times are good, doesn't need to switch on. So that's the evolutionary argument. Mechanistically, we don't know, but it could have something to do with the response to glucose, which then responds to the sirtuin gene.
Everyone,
But
nice
that
to
hasn't
meet
been
you.
worked out very well.
And is there any evidence that leptin, this hormone from fat, can actually interact with the sirtuin pathway?
I don't recall seeing that.
Maybe we could do a sabbatical in your lab. That'd be a fun one.
Definitely.
Because leptin during development is what triggers the permission for the hypothalamus to enter puberty. Right?
Yes.
This is why kids that eat a lot when they're young and get overweight will also start to go and undergo puberty more quickly, although they have reproductive issues later.
Yeah, we should study the hypothalamus together, because the hypothalamus can control the aging of the body.
The most interesting part of the brain.
Let's go.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. If you turn on the SIRT1 gene, the sirtuin gene that we work on in the hypothalamus, it actually will extend lifespan. Also, it's been shown by Dr. Shankai at Albert Einstein College of Medicine that if you inhibit inflammation in the hypothalamus in a mouse, it will increase or maintain the expression of what's called GnRH, which is the hormone that he found actually controls longevity in the mouse in part. And so keeping inflammation down in the hypothalamus is sufficient to extend the lifespan of animals. And I viewed that paper for Nature about 7 years ago. And that was the first demonstration that the hypothalamus is one of the leading regulators of the body's age.
I find this fascinating. GnRH, for those of you who don't know, actually comes from neurons in the hypothalamus that then literally reach down into the pituitary and trigger the release of all the things that control fertility, luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, etc. It's such a powerful set of neurons, and it's never really been clear what at a behavioral level triggers the release of GnRH. There's all the stories about pheromones and timers in puberty, etc. But environmental conditions and dietary conditions and behaviors that can control GnRH release, I think, is an incredible area for exploration. I'd love to do that sabbatical, by the way. I have a couple seemingly random questions, but I can't help but ask, because one thing I like to do is forage the internet for practices that at least more than a few people are doing, and then wonder whether or not there's any basis for it. You mentioned methylation as a detrimental process, the way it disrupts the epigenome, the CD reader, so to speak. There are people out there who are ingesting methylene blue. And when I was a kid, I used methylene blue to clean my fish tank. And I love fish tanks. I know you're into aquaria also. A different podcast episode, talk about aquaria. But why in the world would people ingest methylene blue? Meaning, is their logic correct? And or is that a dangerous practice? I'm not sure I'd want to ingest methylene blue. Sounds like a bad thing to do.
It stains your body. You've seen this.
Yeah, when we would look. Yeah, there was someone in my lab as a postdoc was using it to study a completely different process related to the blood-brain barrier. He used to inject it into animals, and they would turn blue. But then again, people ingest colloid silver. They'll put in there's this. Please, people, don't do this, or if you do, just don't tell me, because I won't like it. Then people put it in their eyes, and some people actually stain their skin. They actually
Nice to meet you, everyone.
Silver, purple, brown color if they do it excessively. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. But what do you think they're thinking with this methylene blue thing, or should we just get them to a good psychiatrist?
I don't know for sure. I think methylene blue was found to extend the lifespan of some organism, and that's where it came from. My recollection,
With the emphasis on lower organisms.
yes, smaller organisms. I think do you remember, Andrew? Does it interrupt or interfere with mitochondrial activity? And that's why they're doing it. Yeah, we need to look this up and post it.
Okay.
We'll get to the bottom of this. But those methyls, let's talk about those.
Yeah.
Those
clearly. Yeah, well, what I want is a credit score for the body to make it easy for people to follow their health. And there is a number. There's a biological age that you can measure. Unfortunately, the test is many hundreds of dollars right now. But in my lab, we've been able to bring that down a lot. And so I want to democratize this test so that everybody has access to a score for their health that can predict not just their future health and time of death, but to change it. And I'm building a system that will point people in the right direction and give them discounts for certain things that will improve not just their health now, but 10, 20, 30 years into the future. And we can measure that and very cheaply keep measuring it to know that you're on the right track. Because if you don't measure something, you can't optimize it. And so this is the biological age test. We've developed it. It's a simple mouth swab. We're rolling it out. We're building the system right now. And there is a sign-up sheet because a lot of people want to get in line. Go to drsinclair.com. You can get on that and you'll be one of the first people in the world to get this test and see what we're doing.
Oh, fantastic. Will people be celebrating their biological age birthdays? In other words, if I'm minus, like if I could imagine, so I'm 45 right now, soon to be 46, but if I were to be so lucky as to get my biological age to 35 within 12 months, maybe you can help me do that. Do I get to celebrate a negative birthday?
Absolutely. And my plan is that those people who take their age back a year or more, we think we can go back 20 years eventually, they'll get a birthday card from me, and it's a negative birthday card.
I love it. And probably a very little actual birthday cake being ingested, but who cares, because you're living that much longer.
Well, it's full of stevia. That'll be fine.
And thank you for talking to us today. I realize I took us down deep into the guts of mechanism and as well talking about global protocols, everything from what one can do and take if they choose that's right for them, to how to think about this whole process that we talk about when we talk about lifespan, as always incredibly illuminating. Thank you, David.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you for joining me for my conversation with Dr. David Sinclair. If you're enjoying and or learning from this podcast, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. In addition, please subscribe on Apple and or Spotify, and on YouTube you can leave us comments and you can leave us suggestions for future podcast guests that you would like us to feature. In addition, on Apple you can leave us up to a 5-star review and you can leave us a comment. Please also check out the sponsors mentioned at the beginning of this episode. That's the best way to support this podcast. Also, I teach science and science-related tools on Instagram. It's Huberman Lab on Instagram. I also have a Twitter, which is also Huberman Lab. So be sure to check those out. A lot of the material covers things similar to the podcast, but oftentimes I'll cover unique material not featured at all on the podcast. So that's Huberman Lab on Instagram and on Twitter. In addition, we have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Andrew.
Sorry for
And
that.
there you can support the podcast at any level that you like. Today, and in many other previous episodes of the Huberman Lab podcast, we discuss supplements. While supplements aren't necessary or right for everybody, many people derive tremendous benefit from supplements. For that reason, we've partnered with Thorne, Thorne, because Thorne supplements are the absolute highest quality and the absolute highest precision. What you see listed on the bottle is what's actually in the bottle, which is not the case for many supplement companies out there. Thorne is one of the partners of the Mayo Clinic and all the major sports teams, and so they really are very trusted, very highest quality. If you want to see the supplements that I personally take, you can go to thorne.com/U/Huberman, and there you'll see the supplements that I take. You can
And forget.
get 20% off any of those supplements, and if you navigate deeper into the Thorne site through that portal, you'll also get 20% off any of the other supplements that Thorne makes. So again, it's Thorne, Thorne.com/U/Huberman to get 20% off any of the supplements that Thorne makes. Also take note that the Lifespan podcast featuring Dr. David Sinclair as a host launches Wednesday, January 5th. You can find the first episode.
ไม่มีสัญญาณ GPS
We also have a channel. You can find a link to that channel in the show notes. Go there, subscribe.
And focus. Drinking water is very benefit for your health. Oh. Oh. I will find something to learn. And now everyone, you can join me.
So to moderate this panel, we have none other than Alan Farrington. Huge applause for Alan, please. Alan takes the stage. He is a Scotsman, and Scotland are playing Germany tonight. Any Germans in the house? Any Germans in the house?
มุ่งหน้าทางตะวันออกเฉียงเหนือแล้วเลี้ยวซ้าย
Love that energy.
มุ่งหน้าทางตะวันตกแล้วกลับรถ
The co-founder and CEO of Strike, Jack takes the stage, please. Here he is. Lots of fans here, lots of fans. Following Jack, we have Rational Roots, the wonderful astrology for men / Bitcoin technical analysis expert. Come on down, the carrot. Round of applause for Rational Root, please. Following Mr. Roots, we have Mark Friedrich, and I'm told that his 7th book is a Bitcoin book, and it's recently become a bestseller in Germany. Huge round of applause for Mark, please. Here he is. Let's go. And last but no
ขับต่อไปอีก 9 กิโลเมตร
Okay.
who is
I hear it.
Digital Assets Lead
from? I'm from another universe. I'm from far away of this. I'm come from the future, far away from this. Maybe minute.
อีก 600 เมตร ใช้ช่องทางที่ 2 จากขวาเพื่อเบี่ยงขวา ใช้ช่องทางที่ 2 จากขวาเพื่อเบี่ยงขวา
people. Thank you my telephone. Thank you internet. Thank you Wi-Fi. Thank you the universe. Thank you galaxy. Thank you the sun. Thank you the earth. Thank you the land. Thank you the air. Thank you gravity. Thank you the food. Thank you my clothes. Thank you my shoe. Thank you my pen. Thank you my shirt. Thank you my brawn. Thank you my heart. Thank you my land. Traffic signal. Woo! I doesn't remember this place. It's very new for me. This is the second time in my life that I been here. I think, but I can't remember this past. Possibility and abundant. Life is abundant, infinite, omniverse. I love my life. Opportunity for me. This is very long journey, everyone. You can join my journey. It's very wonderful. I will arrive at maybe 24 kilometers from here and 23 meters. Hello, who are you? What people? Ooh, wow. Here, the plane market. Oh, I haven't passed this way for a long time. Wow, it's very good and amazing. Woo! Yay! Woo! Yay! Woohoo! Really amazing, everyone! Come with me! Yay, come with me! Enjoy life! Enjoy! It's funny! Very amazing! Is have opportunity for everyone in the world, in the universe. 22 minutes, 21 kilometers from here. Woo! 3 people, nice to meet you. If I time it is now is 3:18 p.m. I have hungry. Yeah, I have hungry. I want to eat something very, very special. Hello, 4 people. Nice to meet you. Today is very amazing. Woo! Very amazing. Very amazing because I wake up at 5 a.m. and then go to exercise every single day. I think this is the fountain of youth. Yeah, sleep, exercise, and then diet. Yeah! Woo! 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 It's very amazing. It's wonderful. It's happiness. I am very happiness. Everyone, I am happy. to be alive. Woo! You can hear me. I am very happy. I love my life. I love this moment. Woo! I love to enjoy my life. I want to live forever. You hear me, one people? Woo! If you hear me, answer me. Yay! Woo! Abundant Omniverse. This is infinite. Abundant infinite Omniverse. Amazing channel. I am Chia. That you never forget in my life. Hi everyone. Nice to meet you. Woo! Yeah. Enjoy life, happy. This is time for enjoy. Woo! Yeah. Thank you, universe. Thank you, mom. Thank you, dad. Thank you, my girlfriend. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, everyone in the world who support me. Thank you, this car that I am driving. Thank you for people that watching me. Thank you, my telephone that I use every single day. Thank you, my life. Thank you, my heart. Thank you, my lung. Thank you, my bone. Thank you, my hand. Thank you, my arm. Thank you, my shoulder. Thank you, my leg. Thank you, my mouth. Thank you, my sound. Thank you, my ear. Thank you, my eye. Thank you, my nose. Thank you, my skin. Thank you, this today, the past, present, and future. Thank you, everything in my life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo! Yay! Woo! Yeah! Enjoy your life. Woo! Wow! Mammoth. Back mammoth. I see back mammoth. Everyone is very amazing. Very amazing. Woo! Yay! Woo! Yay! Thank you to people watching me. Thank you, money that come to me. Thank you, money that come out to me. Thank you, money that fall to me. Thank you, my hand. Thank you, my finger. Thank you, my breath. Thank you, my brain. Thank you, my ear. Thank you, every organ in my body. Thank you, the road that I driving. Thank you, this country. Thank you, the world. Thank you, the nation. Thank you, the government. Thank you, president. Thank you, the nation. Thank you, the building. Thank you, my grandparents. Thank you. Thank you everyone in the world who doesn't help me or doesn't. Thank you opportunity. Thank you obstacle. Thank you everyone that help me. Thank you everyone that support me. Thank you everyone that reject me. Thank you the girl that reject me. Thank you my girlfriend who love me and cooking my meal in every single day. Thank you my mom for support me. Thank you my father, my mom to take care of me. Thank you my brother for take care of me. Thank you my teacher for teaching me. Thank you my friend who support me and help me, who watching me. Thank you everyone that in the future will come around to me and support me. Thank you the air that I breathe, the air in today and the past and in the future. Thank you my food that I eat in the past, in today, and I will going to eat or in the future. Thank you my future life. Amazing future. Wait for me. Universe and abundance, space, time machine, eternal life forever, function of use, is waiting for me. I'm attacking them. I'm accepting everything in my life. Now I have everything in life that I want. Time, health, family, money, everything. Happy. Everyone wants time, money and health. I have everything right now. Everyone have everything right now if them can understand the law of universe. The more you learn, the more you understand the universe. The more you understand the universe, the more you can control your life. The more you can control your life, the more you can richer. The more you can richer, the more you can, the more life will be better. The more life will be better, the more you will happiness. The more you will happiness, the more you can grateful of your life. The more you will grateful of your life, the more life will send everything you want into your life. And the more life will send everything you want into your life, the more your dream come true. Woo! It's very amazing. I want my son and my children in the future can watch this live stream, that I'm sure proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. Woo! I love myself. Woo! Yay! It's really amazing. Woo! Life is amazing in every single day. I have really happy in every second of my life. every minute of my life, every hour that I alive, I breathe. Woo! Yay! The clock is going and you can stop the clock. If you want to stop the clock, you can stop the clock that's aging into your life. If you can slow down your biological aging, maybe you can live forever and then you will become immortality in one day. That technology have achieved. In the future. Longevity, escape, velocity. I 8 minutes I will arrive and 4.2 kilometers I will arrive, everyone. I love everyone that watching me. I know you maybe my girlfriend or maybe my friend or my mom that watching me. Woo! I told you I love you. I love you. You hear me? I love you, Tan, girlfriend. I love you, mom. I love you, dad. I love you, my brother. I love you, my family. I love you, everyone. I love everything. I love every species in this universe and every multiverse. I love that I born in this universe, in this galaxy, in this solar system, in this earth, in this country. Yeah, I love myself, I love my life, and I am very enjoy, very amazing. I feel my spiritual is increasing, my power of spiritual. Yay! Woo! 8 minutes, 3.2 kilometers I will arrive, everyone. Yeah. Broom have. I love you. You love me. I love you. Thank you, my friend. Yay! I don't know you, but I love you. Woo! Boom have. I love anyone in the world. Woo! Yeah! Woo! Woo, 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 woo! Woo! Amazing, everyone. Really amazing. I love you. You know, I love you. I don't know who love you, but I love you. Thank you. Yeah, I will like just it's not wrong. It's amazing life. Okay, you see, this is my life, and you will collect my memory into AI. Yeah, I will live in this life and maybe in digital immortality, it will correct my spiritual and then I will live forever into digital immortality. Yeah. The greatest way of happiness is the way that you can realize that every second of your life is very worth. It's very amazing. I have wonderful today. I will thank you university, thank you my life, thank you every single day, thank you the weather, thank you the earth, thank you my telephone, thank you everything. To go and eat something. For minute 2.2 kilometers. I will arrive, everyone. The life that I received today. My hand. No. I love myself. I love you. I love you, Chia. I love you, Chia. I love you very much. I'm proud of yourself. I never loved you like this before, Chia. Thank you to be alive today. I'm proud of myself very much. Oh my. I love very much. I wait for the red traffic. Okay, it's green and it's continue going. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Of car. never been before, but I been there. I been this place 10 years ago when I was 14. And I been here with my family. It's very, very amazing place in my life. Woo! Very amazing. Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. I want to go inside. Yeah. Wow. Everyone, I'm alive. Yeah. Finally alive. I'm going to enchant. Am I right?
อีก 200 เมตร เบี่ยงซ้ายเล็กน้อย
Yeah, it's เกษตรแฟร์
เบี่ยงซ้ายเล็กน้อย แล้วเลี้ยวขวา
Oh, many a lot of car. Everyone am alive. Hello, 5 people. Oh, a lot of car. Is enormous. And why big? Very, very big place. I want to go and travel and fly to eat something.
เลี้ยวขวา แล้วเลี้ยวซ้าย
I'm very hungry, everyone. I eat only one meal in the day. I want to eat. I want to eat. I come here. Woo! Yeah. Maybe I will find I will find the parking car. I will. Okay, everyone. I will live stream next live stream. See you. See you, everyone. I will. See you next live stream.